Professor of Educational Science at the University of Bergen, Norway, Kariane Westrheim. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Dear Kariane, first of all, how would you comment on the current Erdogan and AKP government in Turkey, considering the economic situation, democracy, and rule of law? And in these spaces, how would you like to comment on the current Erdogan and AKP in Turkey?
The situation in Turkey has gone from bad to worse, and it cannot possibly be any worse than it is now. And Erdogan and his government has brought chaos and suffering to the Kurds in Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. Economic crisis, a total lack of democratic institutions or direction, lawlessness, war, ethnic cleansing, chemical weapons, imprisonment, and so on and so on. With all this, with tacit acceptance from the NATO and the UN and all the states, believe that change can happen. And the election on 14 May is the big decisive opportunity to push AKP Erdogan away. Erdogan has had his chance when he came to power in 2003 and on many subsequent occasions. However, he has shown himself to be unsuitable for creating peace and democracy. He has chosen power and war. Now the Kurds must show that they have the strength to say no to going the way forward with Erdogan. The Kurds had the best card in their hand. They are many, they are real power, they are millions. They are a power factor. So they can change the political picture by choosing a better future for the opposition.
So how important is the success of the HDP and Green Left Party on the upcoming elections in Turkey?
I would say it's extremely important because this coming election will probably not be fair and held in a democratic environment regarding Erdogan's behavior. Experience from previous AKP Erdogan elections have shown that there have been major irregularities, tricks, and cheating during the elections. Voters have been prevented from reading the ballot box, votes have disappeared, and the like. Erdogan is afraid that the Kurds, if enough people show up, could tip the election in the opposition's favor. Therefore, he will probably use various smear campaigns, such as lately when the opposition candidate being pictured with Öcalan, a picture of Öcalan, and we can only imagine that it would come out of it. But it is certain that Erdogan will come up with something. Why should he suddenly, during the upcoming election, follow democratic rules of the game when he has not done so throughout his reign? Therefore, it's more important that the Kurds, who are the safe democratic card in the election, can stand up and vote for the opposition, the Green Left Party Alliance and the HDP. It will be decisive for the future that the Green Left Alliance with the HDP succeed in May. It is the only possibility we have to finally get rid of the AKP Erdogan coalition.
What is your call to progressive and democratic women movements for the elections in Turkey, and how important for the women in Turkey to change the current regime?
I would say that Kurdish women and their organizations can make the very difference in whether Erdogan's regime falls and is replaced by a new one. Kurdish women suffer under the current situation. They are subjected to systematic femicide, they are prosecuted, they are imprisoned, they are oppressed in the worst imaginable ways. Kurdish women have contributed greatly to the development in large parts of Kurdistan, also in the various parts of Kurdistan and in the diaspora. Now it is important that the organization organize and encourage all Kurdish women to use their voice and a vote to change their own and the Kurds' situation. It is not only an advantage for Kurdish women, but for women in general all over the world. So they can make a very big difference if they go to the ballot box.
Thank you, dear Kariane. Also, about this topic, can we get your solidarity message for the HDP and Green Left Party in the upcoming elections in Turkey?
Yeah. And then I would encourage, again, as I said, the women, all Kurds in Turkey and in diaspora, to vote for the Green Left Party, HDP, and the Alliance, the opposition. The Kurds must once and all for all get rid of the terrible regime that the AKP MHP with Erdogan has created. Nothing can get worse than it is now, and it is the Kurd who can make the big difference. The chance is here now, ballot box for more democratic direction in Turkey. We don't know exactly what are being negotiated between HDP and the opposition parties, but we know from history that the Kurds has never been particularly rewarded in terms of political rights and benefits. We don't want it to happen this time. No, in a way, the Kurds put all hope in the hands of the opposition. So let's hope that the opposition has enough moral integrity to emphasize these votes. But regardless of what happens in mid-May, we will forever continue to support the Kurds in their just political struggle.
I would like to ask you about the situation about Mr. Öcalan as well. It's been more than 2 years now. The harsh isolation is getting worse, and the elections are coming in Turkey as well. So what is your call, what is your message about breaking the isolation to the EU constitutions as well as to Turkey as well? Very shortly, please.
Of course, we are very worried and concerned about the situation of the Kurdish leader, Abdullah Öcalan. And the most important issue now in the coming election is that by supporting the opposition, the Kurds will hopefully get a clearer voice in politics and be able to negotiate Kurdish demands. And this must, of course, include Mr. Öcalan, that Mr. Öcalan be set free or receive other terms of sentencing. And with him, the release of all political prisoners. Finally, the Kurdish question and peace talks must again be put on the political agenda. And the international society, the various EU bodies and the UN should make a call to hopefully new government to release Mr. Öcalan and help ensure that he gets his rightful place at the negotiation table, so that the Kurdish question in Turkey can finally find its peaceful solution.
Professor of Educational Science at the University of Bergen, Norway, Kariane Westrheim, thank you so much for all your valuable comments and joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.